Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show.
Hello everybody, it's Paul Neeson, and here we are where we're still in Brooklyn. And last night I was sleeping and I had to laugh because I was thinking about the day's events, and so many people are looking at me and they're looking at my beard, and the comment I get most often is, "Oh, you look so Jewish." And my reply is, I am. You know, it's funny because it's like me going to somebody, you know, who's a Spanish person saying, "Oh, you look so Spanish." It just doesn't make sense. But you know, it's not really the beard that gives me all the comments that say I look Jewish. It's the face, because I don't see people going to homeless people with big beards and saying, "Oh, you look so Jewish." Well, you know, like I say, with the hat I look Jewish, without the hat I look homeless. You know, so we should go to some homeless people and say, "Oh, you look so homeless," right? It just doesn't make sense. I understand when we look back in history, presidents had beards. I mean, I understand today it's considered dirty, it's not considered right, we're considered lazy if we have a beard. But if you look, some of the most affluent people all around the world have beards. It's just our society is so far against nature, about letting things go natural, letting things grow. People are cutting their lawns, they're cutting their gardens into lawns. They'd rather see a nice, neat golf course than see some bushes and some wild fruit growing. They're cutting their trees. They just don't like growth. And this is a big problem for many different reasons. Having a beard might not look neat to most people, but it certainly is healthy from an emotional, physical, and spiritual standpoint. Many people always ask me, "Well, what's so healthy about having a beard?" Another comment I get often is they say, "It must be so hot with that beard." Well, the sun actually stays off my skin when I have this beard. It's actually cooling to me, believe it or not. And if anyone has a beard, you will understand and agree that. And I also get a lot of laughs out of these comments of "Oh, you look so Jewish," or just a whole bunch of other comments. I mean, you know, I want to look Jewish, and my favorite comment is people say, "Well, you look like Moses," or, you know. But then there's some people, when I go to a church, it's really funny. I go to a church and I see people there, they're like all clean shaven and everything else, and they'll look at me like, "Look at him. How could he come to church, you know, letting his beard grow and he's all ungroomed and everything else?" Well, I got news for you. Guess what? Yeshua, Jesus, didn't shave either. What a surprise, right? Moses didn't shave either, right? What a surprise. Nobody looks down at those people. But it's so funny at the way we think about things today. From a health standpoint, laughing is definitely good for our health, and I just love to laugh. And with this beard, I'm just having so many laughs and so much fun with this. You know, when I flew here, people were saying, "Well, you have to take extra ID and you have to be very careful when you go to the airport because you have this big beard, and they might pull you out of line or something else." And I know from traveling a lot, I have enough experience that they do things the oxymoron way in airports. They'll pull the old lady out of line, but if they pull me, they won't pull me out of line because I look like they should, so they won't. That's how backwards it is in today's world. I'll never forget when I went to the airport once, this was years ago, I actually had an avocado in my bag, and they're like, "Prove it." I mean, they thought it was like a grenade or something. I'm like, "It's an avocado," and they're like, "Prove it." So I took a knife out of my bag and I cut it open. I said, "There, you see, it's an avocado." And they said, "Okay," and they let me go through, and they didn't say anything about the knife. That's how backwards they are, and it's crazy. But another comment I get is somebody told me yesterday, they said, "Well, you look like Osama bin Laden." No, I don't. That's crazy. I mean, he wishes he can grow a beard like this. So we have to understand. Another thing I understand is this is not the standard. It's not easy to grow a beard, and not everyone can. So I feel so proud of my beard. I feel great for it, and I really do feel it's a special thing. And yes, I might trim it in the future, but right now I'm loving it. And it's been about 3 days now. No, I'm just kidding. It's been a little longer than that, but it's great. You see, as my hair gets less up top, it's growing more in the bottom. So like I used to do with that little pencil where you could move the little those little things inside to put a mustache or something on the people. Well, we could just turn it upside down, and I'll have a lot of hair on top of my head and a small trim beard in this upside down backwards world we live in. Everyone, don't run away from me because I have a beard. Don't be scared to talk to me if I had a beard. And I've been dreaming about a book for a really long time, because I always say we can't be burdened down with work. We can't be stressed out working 15 hours a day. So one of the big important health aspects is to not overwork. Another one is we have to be frugal with our food. People simply overeat. They eat too much. Another thing is people, when they sleep inside, they have their windows closed. They don't get any fresh air. I talk about sleeping outside being so helpful and not being confined to four walls. So there's so many things out there. Another one is I believe walking is so important and getting good exercise. All of these things are important for good health. And what is all this leading up to? It's probably leading up to my new book, which I should call The Homeless Diet. Because homeless people, they're living old, they eat frugal, they don't have walls confining them, they sleep outside, and they walk enough to get their exercise. Now, I know that might be offensive to some homeless people, but you're not going to see this because you probably don't have a computer, so I'm not worried about that. You know, all kidding aside, you know, there are homeless people that really don't have a choice, that are on drugs, that are alcoholics, that really aren't healthy, but there's something called voluntary simplicity out there. One of the wisest ladies I've ever read, her book was called The Peace Pilgrim, and she had a book called Step Towards Inner Peace, and she talked about owning so little because the more you own, you don't own your stuff owns you. And this lady walked across the United States just spreading the word of peace, and what an amazing lady. I highly recommend that book called Step Towards Inner Peace by The Peace Pilgrim. So yes, I do have a home. It's very small and very humble, but I don't own a lot of stuff. I continuously try to get rid of stuff, and I like to spread the word of peace. I like to be frugal with some of my food, unless I have durian, then I have to eat way more. But anyway, everybody, so we're going to just continue to get around and enjoy Brooklyn and enjoy New York, and we're going to go to some raw food restaurants, and we're going to introduce Noah to where I grew up. All right, everybody, have a great day. Have a great Raw Life, and we'll see you again tomorrow on the Raw Life Health Show.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life, bright.